I basically did all the same.
We're back online, everybody. Hello, welcome back. Oh my days, today is not wanting to work. My entire internet went down, so I tried to reconnect using my 4G, and that was fun. And now my internet seems to be back on. So I think we're back. I can see some comments coming in. So yes, hello. I think Murray seems to have gone over to Twitter, which is last desperation. But whoever's out there, there's quite a lot of people still on this, so that's cool. Hello, I think Facebook's come back up, so that's good. Hello, welcome back. Apologies for that. I disappeared for a while. I went back into the Zoom room, and they were all having a joyful geek out about Endless and all sorts of stuff, which is great fun. So at least they're having fun. I don't seem to have the ability to bring them up on my screen anymore, but oh no, I can do this. Here we go. There they are. Hello, Zoom room. Are you still there? Hooray, we're back. So welcome back to Music Tech Masterclass, attempt number 57. We were in the middle of showing people how to use technology to express themselves, which hilariously backfired. Everything just wants to melt today. But I am going to try and do that routine for you one more time, because it is, I'm so proud of it. It's really fun. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go from the top. Is that okay with you watching at home? Is that okay with you, Zoom room? Yes, thank you for the love. Okay, let me try this one more time. Okay. This machine's working. That machine's kind of working. Let's try it.
Okay. Grandma's house claps in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's house played the tambourine so well. Grandma's house used to issue out a warning. She said, "Minnie, don't you run so fast. You might fall on a piece of glass. There might be snakes in that grass." Grandma's house. Shawty get down, good lord. We got them open all over the town. A strictly bitch, she don't play around. Cover much ground, get paid by the pound. Big things in the forte, each and every day. True play away, I can't get it out of my mind. Yo, I think about the girl all the time. Yeah, I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got to bag it up, girl. I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got to bag it up, girl. I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got to bag it up, girl. I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got the diggity, you got the diggity, you got the diggity, you got the diggity, 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 diggity. Diggity, I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got to bag it up, I like the way you work it, no diggity. You got to bag it up, bag it up, no diggity. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Yeah. Thank you. Got that in the end. Thank you so much, guys. It's very kind of you. So that is an example of a routine. I used to do that a whole load of time ago. I found it on an old set list from like 2013 or something, and I've given it a bit of an update today just to see how. I wanted to show you guys how you can build a routine. So what I want to know from you is what your questions are. Like, what do you think? What does that bring to mind for you? Like, what would you like to know? How I was doing that. Let me get the Zoom room up on here in case anyone has a question. Susanna, do you have a question there?
Yeah, I mean, so again, I'm probably asking a really stupid question here, but you'll have to forgive me because I'm quite new to all of it. But I have been interested, obviously, to me, just the idea of looping seems like it must be like one loop that you create, and then you always just have to create loads of layers on top of that, and you can't really change or get like a B section or a contrast or a totally different section, then come back to the original. I don't know how you create that whole, sort of journey through a song rather than just having just endless things all on top of one and the other. Then they're always just like a big never-ending cake.
Very, very cool question. That's a really, really great question, because when you live loop in, you're absolutely right. It can become a thing that you just feel like you're stacking up layers and layers and layers on top of each other. And how do you create an A section and a B section? And this was something that I came across the very first time I started looping. My first looper that I bought a long time ago now was a very, very basic machine, and it could save 12 songs into it. You could save 12 loops. It only had one phrase, and you could save 12 of them. So what I used to do is I'd build up the A section and I'd save it. And to save it, it would have to stop, and you'd have to wait for like several seconds whilst it's saved, right? And I'd be like furiously beatboxing, keeping the crowd going whilst it's saved, and everything went quiet while it's saved. And then I'd build up the B section with a great big build up, building back up to the drop, which would then go back onto the first loop. And again, you'd have to wait for it to load. So I just mastered the timing of it. Like, I learned exactly how long it would take to do that, and how long I'd need to leave for it to drop. And that's exactly what I do now. It's just that this machine is so much more powerful. Like, I've got five loopers that are in sync with each other. So there's unlimited loops that you can stack up, but you can also have 5 of them. So I might put, like, for example, the hi-hat might go on the first layer, like something like, that's gone on your first layer. And then on that first layer, you can stack up as many times as you want, like, and then when you've had enough of that, you can stop it, and you can play another one that's in sync with that, 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 and then in sync with. Go back to your other section now, like, or play them together. In sync with that, in sync with that, in sync with that. So, it's unlimited possibility, really, and part of the art form, I think, of turning a jam or a looping session as a way to explore rhythm and explore harmony and explore songwriting for yourself, versus making it into a show, like turning it into an actual performance, an actual song. You really need to think about your structure. So you need to think, right, for example, try not to let the same loop just go over and over again with nothing happening, unless you're doing some super chilled ambient kind of techno type stuff, which is fair enough too. But if you're creating a performance, you want it to move, you want it to be entertaining, you want it to be dynamic and engaging. So that's why it's really cool when you see live loopers who have loads of different instruments and they've really rehearsed it, so they know exactly, they've got 2 bars to get the guitar up and ready and go da-da-da, sample that, put that down, then get this percussion instrument. Or like, if you watch someone like, have you seen Mark Rabie? He is insane. He is so gifted and so quick and so punchy with it. So like, that is how to turn it into a show. That is how to turn it into a performance. So that's a really cool question. Thank you for that, Susanna. Did anyone else have any questions about my little no diggity grandma's hands routine there that I finally got to perform for you after many, many dramas? What else would you guys like to know about that?
I have a question about tempo. Like,
Okay.
Is it possible to change tempos? Just by like, I now understand how to set the tempo using the loopers.
Yeah.
Like when you start when there isn't a loop, there's nothing going on Ableton Live, you start a loop that sets the tempo. But if you
Yeah,
want to change tempo, is that possible? Did you do that? Like when you went
absolutely.
into the drum and bass
So
part?
in that song, I didn't actually change the tempo. I just
All
did
right,
it
it's
double
just double.
time because the hip hop beat is what are we? Oh, it's gone now. We are on. So the tempo is 89 BPM. So when you double it, like that is quite fast drum and bass. It's going to go to like 108, 179 or something. But yeah, drum and bass is roughly double the tempo. And I remember that there was a remix of No Diggity, like a drum and bass remix I used to love. So that's kind of, and it did that thing where it no diggity, no dig, no dig, no dig, 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 diggity. And I remember loving that. So that one already works. So I didn't have to change tempo, but you can totally change tempo. If you change the tempo in Ableton and you're using the looper device in Ableton, it will change the pitch. Different loopers work in different ways. Other ones time stretch, but if you are sampling your loops into clips in Ableton session mode, it can time stretch, so it can change the tempo without changing the pitch, which is another really cool thing. But most of the hardware loopers these days, they don't change the pitch if you change the tempo, they time stretch. And then I've had a lot of fun really messing with the tempo, like really pushing it to its limits, like turning the tempo down to like 20, and you get these mad glitchy kind of things, or turning it up to like as fast as it will go, like 250, and then it gives you like an error message. But the sound it makes is really interesting. So I always try and encourage people to push things to their absolute limits and really try and break your kit. That is what I'm always trying to say to you. Like, in fact, I might turn that in today's creation challenge at the end of today's session. I might ask you guys to break your stuff. Like, I want you to do something this month that will push your whatever tech you have to the absolute limits, like to use it in ways it wasn't really built to be made, and see what you can do that isn't in the manual, or that it isn't expecting you to do. See you guys chatting on here saying there's loads of lag. I'm so gutted tonight. I don't know what is wrong with the internet. You're all freezing on my backdrop. Yeah, this happened last month as well, where we had like we had like the Zoom room from 20 minutes before. But I can see you on my screen, and you're all looking lovely and happy and smiley. So you're working in real time for me. People at home, if you can see them, I don't even know if people there's still loads of people watching. I don't know how, because the link would have gone down, so you must have tuned into the new link. So hello, people at home. Tell us where you're watching from, and if you've got any technical questions at all, then I'm here for you. That's what this is all about. This is Music Tech Masterclass. Who else has a question? Anyone else have a question about that kind of fun we were doing there? Oh, Murray's watching. Yeah. He's back on. He's back on Twitter. He says he likes the sound of the challenge. Hey, Facebook is working. Ems is watching on Facebook. Hey, Ems. That's cool. I thought Facebook had gone down completely, but it seems to be working. So welcome. If you just tuned in, I've just done a little show, and we're talking about like how you can use technology in performance. My lovely Zoom room here, all of them musicians in their own right are here, and they're asking questions. So guys, what else do you want to know, or do you want to discuss, or do you want to talk about?
What kind of looper are you using? Do you use a VST, a special kind of looper? Is it Ableton's looper device?
Yes, I am using Ableton's looper device, which if I... Oh, now this machine's not playing. I can share my laptop screen so you can see what it's doing. If I can persuade it to. Would you like to help me? Oh, there it is. So can you see my screen there, guys? This is my Ableton session. It's a real mess, but it kind of works. And in this first kind of group here, I don't know how much detail you can see. Can you actually read what it says on the screen, guys? Kind of no. Okay, well, I've got 5 loopers, 5 of Ableton's looper device. If you don't know what Ableton is, guys, it's brilliant music software, really fun and intuitive music software, and it's very powerful. And it's got a device that ships with Ableton called Looper, which is kind of like a built-in VST, I guess, built into it. Laura Pip's internet is also being not good at the moment. Just blame the weather. Okay, it's not just me then. But yeah, this looper device, it's not brilliant if I'm honest with you. It's not perfect in any way, but it kind of works. And I've had to hack it and really mess with how it works using Max for Live. I've had to really break it and rebuild it to try and get visual feedback on my controller here, so that I don't have to ever use the mouse. Like, my goal is to never actually touch the laptop when I'm on stage. Yeah, but I would also recommend some, if you haven't got Ableton or a laptop, or if all you have is a handheld device, I very much recommend, there's some great free software you can use for live looping. So the one that I've been championing the most lately is called Endless, partly because it's got this fantastic collaborative element, so you can kind of jam with each other in real time, which I've been doing a lot on these weekly live streams. Last week I had Tim Exile, who's the founder of Endless, on the stream, and we had a great jam together. You can rewatch that anytime if you want. But yeah, that's totally free on your iOS device, and there's also a list of free apps for live looping that I'm going to post up as well. If you want to get started and you haven't got any money, but you do have a smartphone or a tablet, you've got the kit you need to start making music. And there's also hardware loopers. So this is the RC500 that we're going to give away in a moment, and I've got the RC505, which is probably the most popular live looper for beatboxers, and it's really powerful. We had to play with that last month, so if you want to rewatch that, you totally can too. Does that answer your question there, Gomez?
Yeah, great.
Awesome. Does anyone else have a question? I can see Susanna's hand go up there. What do you want to say, Susanna?
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's what we're here for.
What is the difference between that thing you keep saying, RC505, and like a Launchpad by Novation? What are the differences?
A Launchpad is a controller. So you can't see you because you're behind me. A Launchpad is a controller, so it doesn't actually do any processing itself. It will tell the computer what to do, and the computer will tell it which lights to flash up. So it's kind of like this machine. Can you see this guy here? This is an Ableton Push, which is very similar to a Launchpad. So it has a 64-pad RGB display with beautiful colors, which can basically become an interface between you and the software without you having to use the computer, like without having to look at or touch the computer. It's all here, and that's much more fun. It feels like an instrument rather than software. Like, that's what I think is really clever about Ableton. So the RC505, or this loop station RC500, this is a hardware looper. So this machine does all the processing itself, all of the effects, all of the looping, all of the sort of interface. So like all you do is plug one mic into that, you plug one power cable into that, and then you plug one output cable into that, and that's everything you need to rock a show. And that is extremely rugged and, it's built to be beaten up on the road, so that, in a way that software and laptops and stuff, they're much more fragile. But that's the difference between, like, a Launchpad is a controller. It doesn't actually do any processing itself. So you need to have a computer, you need to have an audio interface, and you need to have some other bits and bobs going on. Whereas a hardware machine is all self-contained. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously, therefore, there are bonuses. I mean, there are plus sides and minus sides to both of those. But do you think for a beginner, it might be best to start out with something like the RC505 then instead?
No, not necessarily.
Ableton seems incredibly complex, doesn't it?
Ableton is incredibly complex, and I was quite scared to get started with it for a long time too. But I wouldn't necessarily say buy a hardware looper if you're just starting out, because they're very expensive. They cost hundreds of pounds. I would say use an app. Use something like Endless, which is totally free. To get started with and to practice your looping. And once you kind of got into that and you want to level up, then you just will. Like, Ableton will make so much sense to you when you're ready to tackle it. So I don't think I would recommend buying a hardware piece of kit unless you've already had a mess around with live looping and you're excited about it and you're enjoying it and you're ready to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
No worries. But surely the package U1 is going to give you everything you need to become a live looping superstar.
I've already got a bit geeky. I've already watched various kind of YouTube videos about how to use it. So yeah, I already see that it will be, hopefully, if I can get my brain around it, it'll be incredibly powerful. And I have already been experimenting with Endless, and watched your class with Tim as well. So that was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, man, that Launchpad is going to be so powerful because you can load it up into Ableton, and then you can create like if you put it in what's called session view, it kind of creates a grid of clips, and then you can just record anything you want into those clips, and you can mix and match them, and you can create like, it's so fun. It's a really fun way to make music. I love it. So yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with it.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Should we take a couple more questions, and then we're going to move on to this creation challenge, which is very exciting. Anyone else got a question or thought to share, or kind of a burning question they have? What's up there, Paul?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what sort of effects do you mainly use? Is it sort of reverbs and sort of like echo delay, or are there any particular favourites you use, like for like build-ups or drops, or the main sort of part?
I use lots of reverbs and echo sounds, lots of delays. Let me see if I can show you my screen. My little controller that chooses which scene to show you has decided to break, but there you go. So on this controller here, I've mapped lots of different effects. So I've got reverbs, delays, bit crush, 1 2 1 2, distortion, EQ. That's a pitch shifter which takes it down an octave.
Nice.
And that's all my input effects, and I've got various output effects that I control with my what do you call this thing? My leap. Can you see that there?
Leap motion, wasn't it? Yeah.
Leap motion. Yeah, we talked about that in episode 1, didn't we? And then I've got various output effects on this iPad here. So if I play a loop. So this is controlling. I've got 4 different effects I can control on here with Touchable, it's called, which is it's an iPad app that can control Ableton. And it's really flexible, so you can map whatever you want there. But I've got 4 different effects on XY pads here that emulate my old Chaos pad. So I've got like a kind of beat repeat. And if I go up and down, it changes the filter. And if I go left and right, it changes the length of the loop. That's really fun. And I spent a long time. The first Max for Live hack I did was to try and emulate something that my old Chaos pad did, which is a lovely thing. When you let go of your Chaos pad, instead of just cutting the effect off cold, it does this beautiful thing where it kind of blends it with a delay. So the effect doesn't just stop, it kind of goes and bounces around the stereo a bit, which is lovely.
Yeah.
And I know
what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, it took me ages to try and find a way to achieve that in Ableton. So what I did was I made a Max for Live device, which would only trigger when you let go of the effect, that was my very first foray into coding my own kind of software. I wanted to create a device that would do that. And it's really, really simple, like when you know how, but it took me a long time to figure it out. But that's what I love that. So when I let go of it, can you hear that little twinkle sound?
Yeah.
And that just
reverb echo.
Yeah, it just keeps it kind of nice. So if you let go by mistake, it doesn't sort of jolt you, it smooths.
Yeah, it's not a sudden jolt. Yeah.
And I've got some
really good.
tornado effect here. This one. So that's like slicing and changing the order of the slices, and then I've got like a little filter with a delay on it. Yeah. But that's why I love Ableton, because you can have whatever you want. You can, if you like, with a hardware looper, you're limited to what it can do. Whereas with Ableton, if there's a sound you want it to make, it'll either do it out the box, or you can get a plugin. And if there is no plugin, you can write your own one. So
nice.
What was the name of that app you mentioned on the iPad?
It's called Touchable. Touchable, yeah. I'm using an old version of it. There's a much better version of it out, which I just haven't got around to upgrading to. But it can do some really tasty stuff. Like you can control clips and scenes like you can with a launch pad, and there's a mixer, so you can mix. And you can also control all of you can sort of play it like a keyboard here. You can create XY pads. You can control all of your plugins. And then this mode is like an edit mode, so you can kind of build your own controller. You can kind of, if you're like, oh, what I really want is a reverb here and a this, that, there, you can kind of lay it all out, and that's really fun. That's really exciting. That's touchable. I think it's cheap as well. I think it's like a tenner or something. It's really, really straightforward. Let's have one more question, guys. This has been really fun, but we probably want to move forwards a little bit. So what would be your, if you wanted to ask one last burning question, what would you say, guys? Don't all rush at once, guys, because it's can be a bit overwhelming.
Do you have a click in your monitor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do have a click. So I've got another output coming out of my sound card, so you might not be able to see it, but underneath this iPad there is a USB hub, and underneath that USB hub is my sound card via Face UCX, and one of the stereo outputs on there is going straight into this under here, which is, you can't see it, but there's my in-ear monitor transmitter, which transmits to a headphone pack in my pocket. So I can walk around the stage and hear super clearly what's going on. Because if you're ever live looping on stage, you want to keep the volume on stage as low as you can, which the in-ear monitoring really helps with. And I have a click, which you can't hear, but and I can turn it off and on just by pressing this metronome button here. But then certain loops, you want to do them at a certain tempo, or you just want to be able to keep time if you're doing something ambient or spacey. Yeah, I love using the metronome, and I've mapped a control here so I can change the volume of that click really, really easily on the fly. Yeah, that's great.
I guess like a follow-up for that would be, can you start a loop from scratch with no tempo, or do you have to have a tempo running, like the clock, the metronome?
No, you can totally start a loop from scratch, and that was a real deal breaker for me because I grew up using hardware loopers. When I was like, I'm going to move over to software, I had to absolutely had to have a way to start the tempo from your first loop, which most software can do. Like even Endless, you have to kind of coax it to do it a little bit, but if you set it up right, you can do it. But yeah, you can set the tempo to the first time you hit the button, it starts recording, and then the next time you hit the button, it starts looping, and it sets the tempo to that. So I could do a slow loop like. That's set there. Or I could do a much faster one. Didn't work. Yeah, so you can do that in Ableton if you set it to tempo control. There's a button on there on the looper called tempo control. You just set it to set and follow song tempo, and then it will do your bidding for you. It will set the tempo for you, and it will map everything else to kind of go in time with it, which is really fun.
Sweet, cool.
Guys, thanks so much for all these lovely questions. It's been really, really fun being here, even though the internet was against us and all my computers are crashing at once. But, you know, we're here, we're alive, we're having fun, we're connecting during a lockdown. So this is good. I want to ask you guys about this creation challenge. We have all three of our finalists from last month happen to be on this month, which is really lovely to have you guys here. If you tuned in to the stream last week, you would have seen their amazing kind of creations that they made. So the only brief I gave you was use some live looping and use the theme Rave to the Moon, and we had three lovely pieces of music, completely different to each other as well. And last week there was a vote for the public, and the public voted for Tess, who's here behind this microphone. You can just about see her, who goes by the name Old Lady Blues. She overwhelmingly won the public vote by quite a huge amount. So well done, Tess, for winning the public vote. And then we had Paul Subsonic, who's been a real star today, who I'm currently blocking. There he is. He created a live looping kind of ravey track, which was really, really cool. That was super duper fun. And then we had Pedal Play, who's here. I can't point to you because it's reversed. Pedal Play, who made a really, really cool mashup using loads of different iOS apps and mashing them all together. That was really fun. And we loved how inventive you were with it in terms of like creating a kick by banging the table and creating a snare by scratching the table. That was so fun. Really, really cool. And you got the guest judge vote from Mr. Tim Exile, which is a great honor. So congratulations for that. And that leaves me with the final vote. So the crowd voted for Tess. Tim voted for Pedal Play. Is that how are we saying it right there, Israel? pedal play. Yeah. And that leaves me with the final vote. And I am actually going to go in alignment with Tim. And I'm going to choose pedal play too. Well done to you. All three of you did amazing, amazing things. But I just thought the way you did it was so inventive. It was like I hadn't... The reason I chose it is because you were doing stuff I'd never seen before, like mashing up loads of different apps together in real time and sampling yourself and sampling that back into itself. And like that was really, really fun. So you have won yourself. Hey. Boss, Loop Station. Congratulations. Woo-hoo-hoo. Make sure you send me your address and I will ship this all the way to Mexico. I'll get this out to you. I don't know how long that will take, but at some point soon you'll have that and you can show us what you create with it. Guys, thank you, everyone who's watching. I can't believe people are still watching after we lost all the connections. Stubo says, such a great machine. I use Ableton but only have the light version. Yeah, man, I recommend getting the full version. It's so gangster. Oh, yeah, Natalie's there. So it's working. It is working. It's cool. Oh, Laura said, loved your outfits on Rave to the Moon, SK. Need those leggings. Oh, my days. I feel a little bit shy about that now. Like on the day, it seemed like a great idea. But like the fact that, 24,000 people were watching, a lot of them might not have known who the hell I was. Who's this guy dressed as a fairy in leggings? But, that's all good. Congratulations, Pedal Play. Well done. We're really proud of you. And we're really proud to have you as part of our community. And we will be sending you your Boss Loop Station very, very soon. And we have more exciting news, which is that you guys get another chance to win a prize. So far, Tom, who's up there, he won the Yamaha speakers for his first month. Then this guy here won the Roland Loop Station. And who is going to win this prize that I can't find on my screen? Oh, here it is. Ooh, a Shure prize bundle. You can win a mic, a pair of headphones, and a interface, or you can win. Basically, whoever wins gets to choose between these two bundles. It's the mic, the headphones, and the interface, or the mic with the stand and the fancy cable. So we don't know who is going to win that because I'm about to set you a creation challenge. This month is I want you to create some music using any music technology you have. If you have no tech, there's a list of live looping apps on my website. I'm going to post the link right here. skshlomo.com/creation. On there is a list of free apps. If you haven't got any technology yet, you can do it for free. If you do have some technology, please use it. Your goal is to create some music using any tech you have. And the theme I want to give you, I'm going to give you 3 restrictions. First one is the theme of new beginnings. It's January. We've had a terrible year. We're going to hopefully have a fresh start. So the theme is new beginnings. However you want to interpret that is totally up to you. The second thing is I want to keep it short this time. I want it to be 3 minutes or less. So maximum 3 minutes, but you get bonus points if you can squeeze it into something short. Because this week we're talking about performance. We want it to be short and snappy. So I want you to practice this thing and get it nice and tight so that it really hits with an impact. And then the third restriction I'm going to give you is I want you to break your tech. I want you to push your tech to its very limits. I want you to do things to it that it doesn't like. I want you to find the glitches. I want you to find the bugs, and I want you to turn them into features, okay? That is your brief. Entries close 2 weeks from today on the 28th of January. If you want to submit your entry, you go to skshlomo.com/creation. There's a little form you need to fill in there. You will need a Google account to do that. And it will upload what you create. You can make an audio or a video. If you don't want to be seen, just make an audio. If you don't know how to record your stuff, and you're using an iOS device, it's very easy to screen record. That's how I'd recommend doing it, because that captures the sound and everything all in one go. So send us an audio or a video. You have 2 weeks to do it, and then a week after that. So entries close in 2 weeks' time, which is the 28th of January. 1 week after that, on Thursday, the 4th of February, we'll be judging them. We'll be playing the top 3 of those. And the guest judge on the 4th of February, I'm very excited to announce, is Imogen Heap. Oh my days. At First of all, Imogen Heap is going to be on my live stream on the 4th of February, and she can be judging what you guys make. If you don't know Imogen Heap, she's a multi-Grammy winning absolute hero of contemporary music, I guess. Like her music is, she writes for people like Taylor Swift, she writes for people like Ariana Grande, but in her own right, she's an absolutely gorgeously gifted human being and creator of her own tech. The Memu gloves, which is a way to control Ableton or whatever software you want using your gloves. She's an absolute legend, and I am so starstruck by her. So I'm really excited. She's going to be jamming on my stream, jamming with Endless on the 4th of February. And on that date, you can get your music heard by Imogen Heap too, and she will choose her vote for who she thinks should win that Shure bundle. And we will announce the winner the following week. So let me talk to you about next month. So we've done 3 episodes of this Music Tech Masterclass. It was a bit of an experiment, if I'm honest with you. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to do some messing around. And I feel like maybe we could refine it a tiny bit, like what it actually means. Like maybe the word masterclass isn't quite right. Maybe it's more of just like a fun jam. Maybe it's more of like a Music Tech live stream. So I wanted to ask you guys what you think we should call it, like, or even if you want to do any more. So let me know if you want to keep doing these Music Tech Masterclasses. I haven't actually put next month's one on sale yet. But if you guys are keen and you're enjoying it and you want to do more, tell me, and I will do more of them. If you've had enough or you want to see me doing other stuff, tell me that too. Because, yeah, I want to make sure I'm hitting the mark. I'm having a whole lot of fun here, even though my tech seems to break, even though every time I do a tech live stream, my tech breaks. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking. If you're enjoying it, if you'd rather just turn it into like a public jam session or just like a free-for-all, I don't know, or if you want it to be more just like I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but just tell me. Give me some feedback, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. And if you're buzzing, then I will find us another prize next month. I will find us another theme, and we'll keep making music together, and it'll be really fun. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My Zoom room, are you guys still there? Where's my Zoom room at? There you are, Zoom room. Thank you for being here, gang. Lots of love to you. Thanks for all the lovely questions and energy and love and patience when my internet broke and my kit didn't work. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let me know what you want to do. Do you want to do this again? Give me a quick show of hands, Zoom room. Well, you guys want to do it. That's fine. Okay. We'll do it. I'll put it on sale. We'll do next year. Oh, Tom says he loves the lounge idea. Okay. Tech lounge. Music Tech Lounge. What do you think? Music Tech Lounge. Do we like that? It just maybe sounds a bit like maybe masterclass is just a bit intimidating. Like you don't have to be a master. We're just going to lounge. Music Tech Lounge with SK Shlomo. What do we think? Do we like that? I like it. I think it's good. But all people in the comments, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Big love for Imi, says Maury. Castor, who is the other guy who won the massive prize bundle, said, hope you had fun. He couldn't be here today, sadly. Laura says, love to everyone. Oh, keeps going off. Love to everyone. Stay safe. Many thanks to you, Shlomo, for this. It's all needed at the moment. Big love to you guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Zoom Room. I will see you guys. I'm live next Thursday, so come and join me 8:30 p.m. We'll have loads more fun. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's been awesome, and I'm just trying to find my little goodbye screen, but I can't find it. So thank you very much for watching. It has been good. Thank you.
Star.